I did it again. I'm muted every time. I try not to mute. What's up, guys? We're live. I'm in the mood to piss everybody off, so that's what I'm gonna do.
As per usual.
Yeah, per usual, but like especially now. This Mark Stout thing has turned into quite the debacle, quite the public relations nightmare. It reminds me of the Virgo triad saga, for which you were not around. That was a lot of fun too. We pissed a lot of people off. I don't give a fuck. I call it like I see it. I'm going to continue to do so. If you feel like that's rude, I'm sorry. But first, I wanted to give my Discord server some credit for this amazing discovery that they made about Chili DeCastro's website and torturecuffs.com. So this is the most bullshit site I think I've ever seen in my life. So here he has some sort of amazing circa 1992 like GeoCities website layout here. And apparently you can post your handcuff or your torture cuff, trauma stories, complete with pictures. You can see Aaron K and David L and Joshua M, Julie P. They've all uploaded these pictures and stories about handcuffs. So this is a good one. This individual, Miguel G, with the pink and purple nail polish, Miguel has a story that allegedly happened in Pomona, California. So this sounds legit. Stop me at any point if it starts to make you feel incredulous. But apparently on the 29th of June, 2022, Miguel was sitting with a couple of friends under a tree to get out of the sun. They were talking and laughing about things. Sure. We sat there for 10 minutes or so. We noticed a police vehicle pass by looking at us as he passed by. The writing is just top notch here, really. Too. One friend was watching him as he turned around about a block and a half down the road. He was watching again as he passed. We all thought, here we go. The vehicle turned around and right to where we were sitting, lights on. He sat in the car for a moment and then got out, walked up to us, asking what we were doing sitting there. Just sitting here out of the sun. Why? I said. Sorry, I'm dying.
Natural dialogue, if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, really compelling tale. The officer said he was looking for some men who were in a fight. My heart started beating harder, but I knew I had to stay calm. But good call, Miguel. Stay calm. The officer was speaking to his dispatch with some code. He asked us for ID. My
Code.
With some code. Code red
What's code?
Yeah.
He's just clicking away in Morse code over the radio. He asked us for ID. My two friends said yes, but I didn't bring mine. Bad move, Miguel. He kept asking us questions about where we were coming from and going. We told him we were being cooperative. Off in the distance, we hear sirens coming on our way. They moved in so fast. I was like, what?
Wow.
Chili did not write this. He didn't write this. This doesn't sound like him at all.
And I was like, whoa. And they were like, dude. And I was like, no. Oh, man.
3 newcomers were there within 4 minutes. They acted as if there was a hostage or bank robbery, all pumped up and ready for who knows what. The initial officer told the other cops to cuff us up. I asked, why? Are we arrested? Why are you doing this? 3 cops proceeded to take their cuffs off and put us all in them. We didn't do anything, I said. After we were cuffed, they told us to sit down while we investigate you. My friends were kind of helped onto the ground while the officer pushed me down as I was crouching. Thump! Ouch!
Wait, you just really say thump and then ouch?
This just turned into an old Batman comic strip.
Yeah, right. I screamed. The cuffs got way tighter when I hit the ground. I landed on my wrists. I sat up and they were cutting into me. I asked the officer if he would loosen the cuffs as he fell on them and they were cutting into my wrists. He and another officer helped me up and checked on them and did loosen them. That was nice of them. He then dragged me over to one of the vehicles rather forcefully. My wrists were being moved up, down, left, right while we walked.
In all directions.
He was putting in cheat codes to GTA with his wrists.
Right.
Yeah.
I asked him to stop pulling and yanking me. He didn't care as I heard a grunt from his mouth.
Where else would it have come from?
Am I arrested? I asked him. No, we are investigating who you are. After 5 minutes of constant questions, I gave him all my information so I could go on with my day. I hoped. He sat me in the car and told me just wait a few minutes. My buddies were about 40 feet away being questioned as well. Officer walked over and conversed with the other cops, speaking with dispatch. I noticed that one cop take the cuffs off him. A few minutes later, the other. What? Okay. I don't really understand what that means. The cop began walking back with a bummed look on his face.
Fanfic.
This is the worst fanfic I've ever read, honestly. The cop began walking back with a bummed look on his face. I was glad to see that. He opened the door and told me I could get out. I scooted and got out of the car, turned around so he would uncuff me. Finally free. I asked why I was treated like a criminal. The cop said you weren't the right man. I told him what you did wasn't right. I asked for his badge number and name and walked over my buddies to check on them. They were okay too. My wrists really hurt. I just wanted to leave the area and go to urgent care for a checkup. I did go to the doctor. He said I had contusions and 2 bruised wrists. He said they would heal. They did, but I still get numb fingertips once in a while. My friends and I are so glad this is behind us. This is a good, very plausible story. Now, one thing that my Discord server figured out that you could do is you could go ahead and reverse image search these images. So Miguel's image over here. And I thought it was weird. I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but that Miguel wears, different colors of nail polish like a child would, a female child usually. But, I'm not. So this image, when searched, hold on, we gotta switch screens over to the search results. You're gonna love this one. So when you search the image, you get the image source, and look at what it is. It is a picture from a review for Vermont's original bag bomb for dried chapped skin conditions, 8-ounce tin.
Oh boy, seems legit.
It's not handcuffs at all. It's pictures of someone's daughter's eczema. I'm going to go right down to it. See all customer images. There,
he's trying.
Here it is right there. There's Miguel. Oh, wait, go back. Sorry.
Emily. Explains the nail polish.
Fever. Saw improvement in young daughter's eczema after just a few applications. She and I could not be happier after a long-term outbreak after playing with old costume jewelry. Lifesaver. Smells a bit medicinal, but more unscented than anything else. And there's all the pictures that they could have chosen from for the and it's like a 4-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Tiny little chubby hands. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That's not handcuffs, Chili. You're a liar. That is a lie. All right. So if we go back, we can actually reverse image search all of these totally real, totally believable stories.
Are they all from Amazon reviews though?
No,
he's amazing
articles too. I mean, so
okay. He diversified his portfolio.
It's a little bit dicey going back and forth here. I apologize because I have to actually switch screens. But let's see. We can search this image right here. We'll search this image. It's all been searched, so I already know what the answer is, but everybody else hasn't seen it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stop this screen and go to the search results on the next one. And you will see that this is from a news article from 2021 regarding a tortured, I believe, prisoner over in Belarus.
Did you just say Belarus?
Belarus, that's what I meant to say. Thank you.
Belarus. You're
Whatever.
so Caucasian, my God.
I'm so Caucasian. Belarus. Sure. So that's another stolen picture. That's a bummer. That's a bummer.
Man.
I bet Chili thought the same thing when he read that too. He was like, I will steal these pictures from Belarus. Belarus. However you pronounce it. That
sounds like a Toyota car. Exactly. This is my Belarus.
All right.
So you're telling me Chili made an entire website full of lies?
No.
Yeah, it's what it appears anyway. At least the pictures are. Here's another one. This was another one of my favorite. So this is Joshua M, but it looks like an old woman's wrist.
Right.
But, I'm sure that it's at least, an old woman that was a victim of torture cuffs, right? Like, that's got to be it.
There's not even any effort lining up the believable age and gender of the arms.
Right.
He just got the pictures and then made up these fanfics in his head.
Yeah. So this is a post on Twitter from Jane, who is a psoriasis expert apparently, or survivor or something.
Did he just Google psoriasis? Is that how he found all these?
Yeah. So this is Jane's picture of her psoriasis. Yeah. So good
10
job.
to 1. Yeah, he probably just looked up red wrists and got anything.
He didn't even try.
Yeah.
No, he literally just.
This is his maximum effort. Can you believe that?
He probably just looked up wrist injury and
It's like Joshua's got bingo wings. Like,
I think this is the same. He went pretty heavy. Those are more from the Belarus prisoner. I know that one is Leroy N. I don't know if we searched this one. Let's see what comes up for Julie P. in Hamburg, New York.
That doesn't sound real.
Okay, so nothing's coming up for this one. To his credit, this is not an image that is popping right up when it's searched. So that doesn't mean a whole lot when put into context of all the other pictures, but that's a start, I guess. Let's see about David L over here.
1 out of 6 ain't bad.
I mean, that looks like a picture of someone who has just burned themselves on a stove or perhaps with a cigarette or something.
Yeah, it looks like gangrene or something, though.
Right. Yeah, that one's not coming up with anything either. The related images are all pretty gross, though. There's one where someone's injecting themselves with a hypodermic needle.
Right.
Ew.
Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah, so this is a major deception of the moment right now, coming from him. He's pretty much petered out, but what little is left of him, we have with this Ed torture cuff site.
When did this
there
site
may or may
go
not
up?
be an influx of new stories coming in. Just a thought there that might be happening.
No.
I had no control over it.
Don't do that. That's not nice.
Yeah, don't do that. So yeah, that is the torture cuff site. I mean, just poorly put together, deceptive as hell, exactly what you would come to expect by now.
And this is something he's just done, or something that we discovered that's been up for a while.
I think it's been up for a while. Let me do a little more research.
I thought this was part of his New Year's rebranding.
Oh no, this is the new one. Look at
Oh, okay.
2023 by End Torture Cuffs. So this is brand new.
I'm still waiting for the board
Brand
game. He shouldn't be doing anything else but that board game.
I'm waiting for the 360 goggles and the militant police monitoring us on every corner.
I just want to see a little
Somewhere
tiny
You can comment the stories. That wasn't a good idea.
What? I didn't comment any stories.
No, I said people can. That wasn't a good idea to put that feature on there.
I'm wondering where we go from here. Yeah, it looks like this was all December 2022. It looks like they were all posted within days of each other.
Can you even vary the dates?
No, I'm saying this one was posted December 5th. I think there was one that was posted December 1st. I mean, he pretty much just got all jacked up and just was posting these stories. December 13th. Oh, wait, this is a good one. This is how good believable this is. The date of the incident was September 23rd, 2021. And it starts off with, I was out with friends on New Year's Eve, having fun at local spots around the Upper East Side. The year doesn't begin in September, Chili. That would be January 1st. 31st if it's New Year's Eve.
Finger painting champion.
What did you go to calendar school or something, lady? Jeez.
Look at every single one is written the same too. This weird sort of stream of consciousness, like a 6th grade fucking, just back from school vacation essay. They're all written like that. I was out with friends on New Year's Eve having fun at local spots around the Upper East Side. The music, friends, and atmosphere around us were fantastic. we had a great time. Like, it's the same sort of idea with every story too. Like, things were going wonderful. I was having
Until the
the best
police
day of my
came
life ever, right? The sun was shining. I could see God himself through the clouds. And then the police came and put me in cuffs, and now my life is ruined. We didn't do anything wrong. Like, if another story popped up here, my suggestion, I used to write a lot of like short stories and things of that nature, blog posts, just to kind of shake up the narrative a little bit. You know, you could have somebody that like maybe did do something wrong, was having a really bad day, and the cuffs just made it worse. That's just a thought. You just really kind of shake things up a little bit because it's a little stale for me.
Yeah, it's getting a little formulaic.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this one's okay. This one was a lot of. I was riding with a boyfriend, an ex now, when we got pulled over because he had a warrant. Both of us got handcuffed and made to sit on the curb while they sorted it out. I was so scared and embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out, begging the officers to let me sit in a patrol car so that people wouldn't see me like that. The officers were very nice and felt bad for me because they allowed me to sit in their back seat. But how my wrists hurt. Okay, all right. Now that was a little different anyway. I'm glad that you're not falling into the formula.
Boy, howdy, my wrist sure did ache.
Right.
I wonder how long it took him to come up with these fanfics.
It could be like a team effort. I don't know. That was Julie, right? I just read. Yeah, that was Julie.
Those hands don't look like a Julie.
What do they look like? I don't.
I think those wrists look like a Joshua.
But she's wearing a
granny
skirt. It's probably the most accurate. And, you know, it's 2023. Wonder what happened to David L.
He tried crocodile, apparently.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm sorry. So it's not that formulaic because we've got different, like, you know, truly demoralizing, David L. says. I had gone on a trip throughout the state of Georgia trying to find a place to get away from myself. So, okay, we're starting out despondent, a little lost, a little soul searching going on. Not the highs of sitting under a tree in the shade or enjoying the local scene with your friends on New Year's Eve in September. David is obviously going through some self-reflection on a road trip through the state of Georgia. I had time to reevaluate my priorities over my 24-hour trip. Went throughout the state of Georgia for 24 hours, David. What the fuck were you really doing? All right.
He went in a circle.
Yeah.
He did the outline.
I had time to reevaluate my priorities over my 24-hour trip. And when I got home, I found my wife and daughter were gone. Yeah, maybe they decided to take up and leave because you did dumbass shit like drive around the state of fucking Georgia for 24 hours.
Why is it taking you 24 hours to get home, Dad?
Right. Do this all the time, David. Get the fuck out. We're leaving. Then I heard a sharp 3 knock on my door at 8 a.m. and found me face to face with a cop. So your wife and daughter were gone. You just like went to bed. Very concerned.
Yeah,
I can
that's
see that,
regular.
David. Oh, yeah. I was given time to get dressed and was placed in handcuffs and taken to Dublin Police Department for a lovely 3-day stay. It was horrible. And why? My wife had called the police and told them I attempted to hit her.
Could that be why they were gone?
Where's the handcuff story?
Yeah.
This guy was just venting about his divorce.
Yeah, it sounded like dude, hit his wife and then jumped into the car and took off. Came back and there was a cop at his door. That's a real mystery.
Maybe he was smoking meth for 24 hours and
Yeah.
burned is the meth pipe one.
Yeah.
No, it
He
looks
was
like
just trying to get across the front yard.
Yeah. This looks like it's another picture from Belarus. Yeah. So
What the hell?
this is pathetic. Like this is just mailing it in at this point. It's not even gratifying to make fun of this anymore. Like I'm going through it because it's ridiculous enough to talk about, but I don't feel great about it anymore. It's just really sad. It looks like are those the only stories that he has? He had more stories, I thought, yesterday. Did he pull some down because he really like the really bad ones that were just ridiculous?
These are the good ones?
Right?
There
There
was more
were
yesterday.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Did we read Leroy's?
I think so. Granny Arm Josh is still getting me, though. Like that.
Oh, this was. Oh my God. This has not, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he was out with friends on New Year's Eve in September, having fun at local spots around the Upper East Side. The music, friends, and atmosphere around us were fantastic. We had a great time.
Everyone's having a fantastic fucking time.
David wasn't.
Except David.
He drove around Georgia for 24 hours and then got into
he was probably picking up hookers. That's why his wife was gone when he got home.
Yeah. A group of us decided to walk over to another establishment to see what was happening here. As we walked the 4 blocks to get there, we noticed a group of cops standing on the sidewalk watching the crowds. Up ahead of us were 2 cops talking to 2 others, and it was getting heated between them. Oh. They were off to the side of the sidewalk, so we proceeded to continue to walk. As we got closer, the talking became screaming. We continued to walk past, but as we passed them, 2 officers came up behind us and stopped us. "What are you doing?" said the cop. "We're going to a party." I was calm, but flabbergasted that I was stopped. I had no idea what was happening. The cop asked for my ID and promptly pulled it out of my pocket. "Why did you stop us? What have we done?" No matter what I said, he ignored me that moment. He was talking to his partner, then turned his back to me and pushed me into a tree and told me I was being detained. He scrapped my arms against the bark of the tree. Damn, must you be so rough? It's bullshit. Okay, yeah. Whoever wrote this story wrote the other one too. It's the same, like capitals and everything. Damn, must you be so rough? It's bullshit. My friend stood back and didn't say a word. 2 pulled their cameras out and videotaped them. The second officer kept asking me questions that I said I would not answer. They were out to mess with people on what is supposed to be a fun evening out. "Look what your partner did to me. I'm bleeding." The cop didn't seem to care. I asked him to get an EMT here now. The cop looked up at me and said, "Okay, sir, I will call." Yeah, it's really natural, believable dialogue.
Yeah.
15 minutes passed by. My friends were trying to get the cops to uncuff me. He didn't do anything. We were walking by the situation. "Let him go." I guess the cops realized they messed up and did uncuff me. I was so pissed. We hung around each other for another 5 minutes for an EMT, but didn't show up. So we left after getting their information to go take care of the scratches and wounds. I don't trust cops at all anymore.
Yeah, that definitely reads like he's in grade 4.
Yeah.
It's pretty
yeah, this is another picture that he lifted from an actual torture victim in Belarus. So, yeah, this is great.
No shame there, hey.
None.
Right, that's so many levels of fucked up.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna plant a bomb real quick. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Nothing like using
torture. The bomb I know about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna segue into that next. And just, upset people. Because I feel like after we talk about Chili DeCastro is generally the best time to then go ahead and start talking about Mark Stout. Because they're pretty much the same person. So I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say it. I'm saying it out loud. I don't give a fuck. Everybody's going to be upset and cry about it. And I respectfully don't care. He is the Chili DeCastro of the anti-auditing world. That is what Mark Stout is. He is a bumbling idiot who purports himself to have some sort of legal expertise that he clearly does not have. He absolutely conflates, his little understanding of the law with these complex cases that, he cherry picks from. The guy's a fucking clown. He has in the past solicited people with his shitty legal advice for fees, including approaching the brother of a recently deceased auditor to try to compel him as next of kin to continue a lawsuit, in the deceased auditor's permanent absence. That's a fucking problem. And right now he's suing Long Island Audits. He is suing Long Island Audits for what I am estimating, from my layman's understanding of it, to be a total of $48 million.
Oh, what?
Because it was millions each count.
I'll pull the case up. And I feel like I can do quick maths. I'm not a legal expert at all, but I can definitely at least add shit up. And he's asking for $4 million per count in punitive damages and $4 million per count in compensatory damages. and I am counting 6 counts here. So like that would be about 40, or I'm sorry, that would be $24 million. And then he is also suing Long Island Audit, Sean Reyes, his company, for an additional $4 million per count, both compensatory and punitive damages. So that to me is a total of $48 million that this man is asking for a trespassing incident that he regularly brags about, as he claims that he G-checked the individuals, humiliated and put them in fear. Okay, so when you talk like that, just from my perspective anyway, and I'm never going to be an attorney or a judge, but I could end up on a jury someday. But from my point of view, when I'm like reading that and how you're saying that you humiliated these individuals who, at least you all seem to agree on, were just there to serve you with a, probably equally frivolous and ridiculous complaint and summons, right? But they were affecting legal service. You chase them off your property and then brag about how you were so alpha and so tough, and you G-check them. And it looks like there's a screenshot of him, chimping out with his shirt off, chasing them off the property. You don't sound like the aggrieved party to me. I fail to see reasonably where you can go, these 2 jackasses walked on your property to hand you legal papers, and I can see damages in excess of $40 million. Like, that's reasonable, sure. I don't feel like it is, if we're being completely honest. All right, so I've pulled up this lawsuit now.
I hope he wears the Sean Reyes face mask cardboard cutout that he made.
Like, he does some weird things that honestly.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Boomer.
He like those old Kellogg's cereals as a kid, and you could cut the mask out of the back of the box, right? Okay, I'm ancient. That's what we used to do for fun before television. And anyway, he took like a cardboard piece, and he put Sean Reyes' face on it and cut the eyes out and stuff, and he holds it up to his own face, doing videos against Sean. He's got a real bug up his ass.
Oh, that's
cool. Cool, very awesome. Yeah.
He's like a weird adult puppeteer.
Kind of. Yeah.
Well, it's just like they have this like blood feud sort of. Like,
yeah.
I get into blood feuds online all the time. So like I'm not going to fault you for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stupid pissing match. This is what I've been able to what I've been able to track it back to is that Mark Stout now goes by Frauditors Exposed. He has now decided that he has turned over a new leaf. He is reformed. And when people say that he is reformed, what they mean is that he has fallen in line with their ideological beliefs, and that he now is disavowing, at least verbally saying, I disavow the auditing or frauditing community. I think they're all terrible. And so therefore he has been reformed, because he now agrees with a different side of things, even though he's still filing frivolous lawsuits left and right. He's still defending his right to film a DEA office and fighting that case right now. He still claims to be just as good, if not better, than a lawyer, even though he doesn't have a law degree, law license, or anything above what he refers to as a 5th grade education, which I'm assuming he's speaking in hyperbole there. But I mean, the case of the matter is he's not an attorney, but he somehow thinks that he is better than one, right?
What I saw, he pulled a full chili. He would bring it up and just hand pick little parts that suit what he wants it to be.
Yeah.
I think, didn't he say he bested someone who was trained in the arts of lawyerdom, and he sort of like absorbed that guy's power, I think is how he looks at it.
What?
Yeah. What? He was saying that on your
he became a symbiote.
Well, no, that's how I'm interpreting it. But he said he's like, I'm not a lawyer, but I've bested them before. I went to court and I won, and that was sort of his like his.
See, I gotta pull this out right now. Broken system, broken trust. You fucking retard. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. Like, this is just as bad. This is just like he won one case against the lawyer. I won 2. It's not that hard. Like, define win, because I bet you can't even start there, you fucking simpleton. At some point, like, people need to sit down on the internet and realize, like, you need to understand what you don't know. It's a really good skill to have. Understand, but you're not lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be. You're not a lawyer. You're never going to be a lawyer. You're a simpleton. So, Jesus Christ. Like if I want to ask questions about like dealing drugs and toting around guns, then I'm going to ask Mark Stout. If I want to ask questions about the long-term effects of methamphetamine use, I'm going to ask Broken System, Broken Trust. If I want to ask questions about the law, I'm going to retain an attorney or talk to my friends like, Paul Carroll or somebody like that who actually practices in law, right? Not going to ask Broken System, Broken Trust or fucking frauditors exposed, legalized drugs. That's neither here nor there, though. So Mark Stout started out in the auditing community. And he did exactly what he's doing in the anti-auditing community now, where he was like, I am a legal expert and I can get you out of all of your cases and I can help you with your lawsuits. And I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm a pro se litigant. He even has come up with his own pro se litigation firm. So he captions a lot of his filings as Stout pro se litigation.
He's 3 people?
Well, I believe it's his 2 siblings who also are not lawyers. But the address to the pro se litigation firm, I believe, is either his parent, his mother. Or
isn't that an oxymoron? A pro se litigation firm?
Right. It's madness.
Fuck.
It's fucking madness.
Like I said, he won a case.
Look who's here. So just because I know that you guys all
here we go. Buckle up.
Sports and everything else. Suck my dick. Long Island Audits is here. What's up?
All right.
Here we go. Buckle up. Oh, you're watching us. You have to turn it off or it's going to echo.
Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah.
So far, Mark Stout is beating you in the whole technical aspect of this thing, but that's cool.
Oh, from Tent City, live in Tent City.
Live in Tent City.
Was that actually a tent, like a pop-up graduation tent? Is that what it was? Like one of those?
It looked like that, and Merv looked like he was under an overpass. It was wild, man. I thought they were in the same tent city, fighting out for dominance, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to pull up your lawsuit too there. That's not it. All right. So yeah, we were just discussing the frivolous details around this lawsuit a little bit and sort of how your feud began, so that people understand just fully what we're dealing with here. Because I don't think that he wanted to give you legal advice at some point, correct?
Yeah, he wanted to give me legal advice, and he wanted to like basically be my fake attorney, like my shadow attorney. And I told him no, I didn't need him, and he got really upset. He wanted to go 50%, and then he kept harassing me, sending me text messages, and he calls me. He's like, "Just wire me $50,000, and I'll stop harassing you." And I'm like, "I wouldn't give you 50 cents. Like, what are you talking about?" It's really scary. He calls it a feud, but if you count the amount of community posts and videos that I have of him and videos he have of me, it's a pretty one-sided feud, to be honest. I love these comments. Great.
Oh no, it's like literally like, "Hey Barry, what's up?" I didn't ambush him. He looked like an idiot because he is an idiot. There's nothing that like I could have literally softballed him like easy questions or really. First of all, like I don't understand where people get off thinking that I can sharply question Merb. Merb isn't an attorney and I am not. So when I threw clarifying questions at both of them, a lot of the time it's because I legitimately didn't understand and just had a gut instinct that, Stout was not authoritatively speaking on anything. And I wanted some sort of clarification either from him or Merb. He's just the only one that spoke up. Like there was nothing anyone could do to make Mark Stout into an intelligent human being. Like that's just, it wasn't going to happen, right? Like the Dunning-Kruger was so fucking severe in that room. There was no way that you could undo it. I don't feel bad about it at all, honestly. He was a fucking dick too. Like at one point he just devolved into calling everybody a dumb fuck because he couldn't answer questions. If that was Chili DeCastro, everybody would be at his fucking throat. But because you like this guy, because now he agrees with you on shit that doesn't even matter on the fucking internet, like he's a fucking hero. No, leave it, don't come back. I don't say that often, but like I don't need that form of fucking brainless echo chamber anywhere near me. I don't. I'll stream to 3 people watching and be perfectly okay with it, as long as I don't ever have to read that ignorant bullshit ever again. Yeah. So you guys started this feud. Now you've done some petty ass shit too, in my opinion, because like I saw the video where he approached you and chimped out in the fucking courthouse hallway, and that was hilarious to watch. I'm not gonna lie, he was a fucking idiot, but I don't know that I would have like gone and gotten a restraining order. Honestly, I get why you did it. I do.
Yeah, I mean, just to defend myself there, this is a sick individual, right? He's threatened my family, my children. he's attempted to assault me in the courtroom. I don't know. I felt it necessary where I wouldn't have done it.
He travels on a bicycle, though.
Yeah, I mean, but he showed up to my Berwyn hearing, and his echo chamber followers give him money to come harass me at my court dates and see me win. But is a restraining order, is it really that big of a deal? No, I just I was there. He's making me go to Virginia. Might as well just try and get this as much. I'm countersuing him, yeah, because he's suing me. Why not? Like, he has nothing for me to take from him. His blanket fort, I have no idea what he has. No possessions. This is just stupid. Yeah, I love this. I came on here just to see the chat. Promise you.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I really came on here just to read the chat.
I'm enjoying the chat too, because people are fucking upset about it. But
it's great.
We were talking before we streamed. I was talking with some people in my Discord about how it's just very frustrating to see this happen, because in the case of this particular lawsuit, where we can read through, guys. And again, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to I'm not going to go ahead and make any conclusions based on the law, but just from sort of a common sense standpoint here, right? Some of the allegations include, let's go here. I want to go to this part, which is my favorite. Hold on. The defendant's trespass and unlawful entry caused the plaintiff to feel annoyed, uncomfortable, awkward, and stalked. This is one interaction where they were serving legal papers. And I do kind of, honestly, because I'm going to be straight down the middle with some things, I attribute this attempt at service, or this service, apparently it was effective service, to when Chili and his friend Zayn kind of ambushed me in a courthouse parking lot. Like, I know why people do what they do when they do that. It's a really sort of self-satisfying act. I get that. Like, is it sort of a dick move? Yeah, it's not the most professional thing you can do, but it wasn't like, you were going to his house every single day, just driving by, or like knocking on his door like the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses or something, right? Like, there was a purpose. It was done. It was over with. He likes to, in the same breath, talk about how he G-checked you and your friend, and there's a screenshot of him with his shirt off, chimping out yet again. Like,
wait, how old is this guy?
He's like in his 40s.
Pushing 40.
And he's saying he G-checked people?
Yeah, he G-checked them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, but this is what I mean. This is sort of the dichotomy with this, and why it's such bullshit to me and so fucking frivolous. Online, there is this sort of self-aggrandizing, puffery. I humiliated them and they were terrified. I chased them to their car. This is literally stuff he's saying, right? He's proud of this. But so he's the alpha here. And at the same time, he's also saying that this big, tough, strong alpha guy was victimized so much that he is owed $48 million fucking dollars for this, because he felt annoyed, uncomfortable, awkward, and stalked, whatever that means. The defendant's trespass and unlawful entry caused the plaintiff to cringe.
If you can sue for being made to cringe, I have a couple lawsuits I got to be filing, guys.
Right.
I'd be in jail forever.
I'm just enjoying the chat.
Trespass and unlawful entry caused the plaintiff to feel weirded out and creeped out. Like, I'm sorry, but if anybody is looking at the human being that took the time out of his day to slap this on fucking 7 pages and file it with a court of law, like, fuck you. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous within the 4 corners of this complaint. It's ridiculous when you take into context all the shit being slung, from Mark Stout towards this individual. Like, it's ridiculous. And here we have that he is literally asking for $4 million in general compensatory damages.
What is the difference?
Per claim, right? So these are damages like general compensation. Punitive damages are meant to punish the other party. So if an act is really, from what I understand,
he has no damages. I've spoken to attorneys in Virginia. There is no damages in this case, and he can't make it emotional distress. Anybody can say that. Weirded out, creeped out. I will say this: I do regret serving him with the paperwork for sure. I shouldn't have done it. I wasn't a party to the case at all. You know, I did it for 100% the reason of, hey, here I am. I'm not scared of you. You didn't, you know, you threatened me. You threatened my family. I'm here in Virginia. I was on Virginia on other business. I didn't go there specifically just to serve Mark Stout. You know, I was there already. Corey met me there. I served him the paperwork, and that was it. You know, he could say all day that he G-checked me and he did whatever he did. You know, it doesn't matter. He didn't put his hands on me, and he never put his hands on me in his life. He never did it in the courtroom or at his house, and that's all that really matters. I'm not gonna.
So why do you have a restraining order?
Because fair point.
Now?
Fair point. But the restraining order is to keep him from sending me emails, keep him from sending me text. I don't want to be bothered with him. He can't come to my house. He doxes my address every single one of his videos. He threatened to come to my house. I have a wife and children. I don't want him coming to my house acting a fool when I'm not there. If I'm there, it's different. You know, I can defend myself. But when I'm not there, my wife and children are home alone. I don't want him going there, you know, just to harass my family. And now he cannot. He cannot. Is it that big of a deal if the judge dismissed the restraining order tomorrow? Would it be that big of a deal? Probably not. I'm thinking about moving. But, you know, you can't just, there's consequences in life, right? I talk about accountability. You can't swing on me in a courtroom and not face accountability. Like, I'm not, what was I supposed to do? You know, I chose to do it. I stand behind the restraining order. I should have never served him the paperwork because now it gave him, you know, you forgot to mention that he charged me with criminal trespass. He went to the court and he charged G-check Mark, you know, hard, tough Mark, gangster Mark, went to the authorities and charged me with trespassing, criminal trespassing, which the state's attorney who knows Mark is famous in his county, infamous, should say, and they quashed the warrant immediately. So, you know, it's just ridiculous.
What's the status with that criminal case, if you're comfortable answering?
It got quashed.
So it was
the warrant was quashed.
So there's no longer a warrant
for my arrest. No.
Okay. So is there an ongoing case or?
There's an ongoing case. No. There's only that those charges were, that warrant was thrown away. The only charges that are still pending is the charge for assault for Mark when he even showed the video. And just so all you like no brain having like cult following Mark supporters that are here, you know, it's insane to me that you would believe his story. You know, everybody calls me liar and all those other things. You know, it is what it is. You don't affect my life. I still have a beautiful life, beautiful family. It's great. I'm happy. It is what it is. But he tells the Kate, this is his version of the events. I went up to him and said, "Oh, one of your supporters said that you smacked me in the face. And you didn't smack me in the face. Show me how you smacked me in the face." And that's why he attempted to smack me, to strike me, because I told him to. That's his defense.
So I have no idea who you are, bud, but people fucking hate you, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like,
I'm just eating and reading the comments.
I can't.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But I can't decide based on personality. Like, honestly, when I look at this from what little I've spent about a week looking into it, I'm not done yet, honestly. But I mean, on the side of this lawsuit in particular, you're an idiot if you can't acknowledge that this is frivolous bullshit. It's wasting the court's time and wasting everybody's time. It's trying to financially penalize another man who is engaged in behavior just as ridiculous as the behavior that he is engaged in, right? For a completely baseless claim. It's fucking frivolous, right? I feel the same way, honestly, about, you know, the restraining order. I get it. And everybody does some dumb emotional shit. You got somebody, you know, it gets real hot, you're arguing a lot, and at some point you just want the other person to shut the fuck up. And the easiest way to do that sort of is a restraining order. He's still talking about you. I guess, you know, if he really was, and I don't know because I wasn't there, if he was really communicating with you and sending messages and calling and it was unwanted and it was ad nauseum, perhaps that is alleviated for you, but I don't think it rises to the level of government intervention. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion. And like I said, everybody here, you know, you guys can hate me all you want, say whatever you want. You know, I've been, you know, very successful in what I've been doing. You can say that I'm anti-police, but police departments reach out to me to help train their officers, not on a legal basis, but on humanizing, on bridging gaps. So anybody could say whatever they want about me. I sleep perfectly at night. I live in your heads rent free. I came on here to Kate's channel knowing this was all going to happen. And, Kate, I told you,
Yeah.
I knew it. We both knew that this was going to happen. I'm reading all all the chats.
Neutral.
And,
I'm enjoying the comments. Some of them are fucking hilarious.
hey, that's the
They
right.
have a lot
If
of
you came on,
questions.
but the
I don't know
difference
if
is-
you want
From
to
the
answer them
outside
or
looking
not.
in.
But wait, the difference is, and what they'll never understand is when I go live, there's 6,000 people watching me who support what I do, and now we have maybe a couple hundred people who really hate me though, and that's fine. If I live in your head rent free and you hate me that much, when the police don't even hate me that much, I mean, go ahead, do what you got to do. We can all agree on one thing though. Whether you hate me or love me, we can agree that website that Chili did and the things that he did is disgusting, and I hate that. It's not served. That's only serves to damage to lengthen the divide between law enforcement and my community. And I can at least agree with some people that Mark Stout is just some loser out there who's just trying to get a quick buck. 6,000 people. 61.
So in your countersuit, please just even if you have to lie, are you going to try and get that cardboard cutout face mask you made of you?
I'm gonna try and get the face mask. I've already made a list.
Dude.
I've had my attorney made a list. We're gonna get the face mask. We're
Yeah.
gonna get the shirt that he has with my face. He has a shirt with my face on it. He's got a shirt with my face on it. So I'm gonna try and get that. That microphone looks pretty nice. It looks a little nicer than mine. His
The
microphone.
dating ritual of the auditor is very fascinating to me. So you have to wear t-shirts of each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's wearing a t-shirt with my face on it. I don't know, but
That's pretty
and
cool.
the cardboard cutout, maybe the tent fort, the pillow fort he has. That
Right,
looks pretty
right.
interesting. And maybe the certificates back there, his notary public certificate, maybe that too, if it's worth anything. And that's it.
Do you think that you could just maybe quash
Maybe
it
his bike.
if he like mails you the mask and like stop?
I'll tell him right now, Mark, because
Internet?
I know he's gonna watch this, right? We can drop everything. Just send me the mask. I want the mask. I'm gonna put it up. Just send me the mask and send me the T-shirt because I don't want you having anything with my face on. It's kind of weird. He's told me things before that are really crazy. Really crazy.
I know that Stout is pissed off about all this. I obviously brought on his arch nemesis just to piss him off more because, honestly, dude, I don't like you. But I'm going to refrain from low blows and just see how low he wants to take it first. Really? Because that's generally how I like to operate,
Yeah, I mean, listen. I came on here for a good laugh. There's a lot of people that are here. I can't wait to read the comments once the video's static. There's not really. I think it's important for you to point out that Chili. I don't know the relationship, but their lawsuit seems to be the same. So the same word.
Chili borrowed language. Hold on, I can actually pull that up. Chili has acknowledged now that he has borrowed language from Stout's lawsuit against you.
So someone said Stout calls everyone a pedophile. Is that one of his things too?
No. Yep. He has falsely accused commenters, just people that are commenting.
Yeah, if he doesn't like somebody, he says calls them a pedophile. Yeah. That's about right.
Yikes.
That's about right.
Right. And I think what it boils down to is that Stout wanted to be an auditor. He wasn't as successful as he felt like he should be. So now he's lashing out on auditors that, if he could have, ridden the nether regions of this gentleman here to fame and YouTube glory and fortune, I'm sure that he would have. I don't see much that has actually changed with this guy other than he's just spitting rhetoric out of the other side of his mouth. But the actual rhetoric has not changed that much. It hasn't. I mean, not even Chili would, make up a fake pro se litigation firm. That is absurd. Absolutely delusional.
People, and I was reading the comments on your other video. It's remarkable to me how people were attacking you just for not agreeing with a self-proclaimed fifth grade educated non-lawyer, no scholar. At least he doesn't even call himself. It's funny. He did refer to himself as some legal scholar for 17 years. So I don't know. It's you know, it's
Wait.
the tribalism.
Chili?
No,
Yeah,
Chili has 3 years over him. If Mark
Chili,
Stout
yeah,
is
Chili's
the
more
legal
experienced,
scholar
yeah.
for 17, Chili's 20.
Yeah. So, I've never once claimed to be any sort of legal scholar. You know, I put my videos out and there's a disclaimer. It's not legal advice. You know, my goal is to bridge the gap, you know, run my channel. And I've been doing that successfully. No matter what everybody here in the comment section says, I'm happy with what I do. You know, Kate, we're not going to agree on everything. I'm sure there's a million things that we don't agree on. You know, I came on your live stream when on your previous live stream, you called me a son of a bitch, right? Or something.
I you
a piece of shit. Yeah, you called me a piece of shit on your last live stream, and that's fine. Listen,
That doesn't sound like Kate.
Hey, it's fine. And I still came on here. I still came on here to talk to everybody, and you know, just it is what it is. You know, Mark, I know you're upset. It is, you know, I don't care. It is.
You don't
what
have
it is.
to agree with people to talk to them or be civil with them and have discourse.
Sure.
That's how we learn from each other.
I agree, 100%. I agree, because nobody's 100% right. You know, this channel's self-proclaimed troll, and you know, Kate, you've trolled a million different people, and this is what you do, and I can't believe that you brought me on here. Really, I could not believe when you told me, hey, you sent me the link. I was like, wow, because this is this is great.
Honestly,
your
we've
engagement
had a
could be
million
great on this
auditors
video.
on here. We've had a million anti-auditors. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm like the
that.
most hated, and I'm the most hated for some apparent reason. The one that doesn't.
I've seen more hated than you, honey. I've been along
Really?
a long time. I've seen a lot more hated than you. David Earl Warden is a literal child molester. Beware Mouse,
Convicted.
not well known, but much more disliked by the people that do know him. There we go. This is Delete Laws admitting that he is taking work product, air quotes, from Stout. So that's good. What an accomplishment when Chili DeCastro is citing your work. I would be very proud. But yeah, we've had Furry Potato was very disliked for a very long time, and ebbs and flows. Like, I don't know. I try not to look at it too far. I haven't seen your audits yet, too. So as far as that goes, I'm very impartial. All I'm really looking at with this is the legal shit that I've been able to pull up. I understand that you file some lawsuits too. I haven't looked into those yet.
Yeah, I mean, you could look into whatever you want to look into. At the end of the day, you know, I'm confident in how I run my channel and how I conduct myself on my audits. And, you know, I think there's a reason why I've grown to over 375,000, almost 375,000 subscribers in less than 2 years. There's a reason police departments reach out to me to participate in trainings. You know, as long as what I'm doing is bearing good fruit, you can say you can make a live tomorrow talking shit about me. It wouldn't affect me.
Well, it's working for you, clearly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it works as long as it works for me and it works out for my family and it works out for, you know, the end goal, which is to, you know, help bridge the gap. I bring 30-year law enforcement officers on my channel, and then you have people who sit on the couch and just obsess about me over a day saying, you hate the police. You hate the police. But then when 30-year law enforcement officers who are chief of police and detectives come on my channel and we have good discussions, you know, but apparently I hate the police, and all these bootlickers sitting on the couch think that, you know, I don't hate the police, and not at all. I have no vendetta against the police. None.
Rick James, I was not terribly familiar with Mark Stout. I was not. So legalized drugs, actually, it took me a minute. I agreed to host this debate, if you want to call it that, this conversation. I kind of knew that he used to be an auditor. I didn't put two and two together that he was legalized drugs. And I had been told that in the past, but I was friends with Schrodinger's cat. And we were hanging out around the time that his lawsuit against Schrodinger's cat was going on. And I remember sitting at dinner with Schrodinger's cat while he was showing me the video of, I think it was a girlfriend or a wife or somebody. He had somebody go drop off papers at Cliff's house. I mean, at Schrodinger's cat's house, much like, you know, what he's complaining about now in this lawsuit. So he had some rando drop papers off. It was weird.
That was his sister.
His sister. Thank you. I knew it was. I couldn't remember. So he had his sister drop him off. I remember being a little bit unsettled at the time for Schrodinger's cat because his wife and child were home, and thinking that was kind of creepy. But I've grown since then, and honestly, it's really not that creepy. It's just the caveats of this YouTube shit, but whatever. So I was aware that Schrodinger's cat was covering him. He was telling me that he was stupid, pretty much saying that he's doing exactly what he's doing now, pretending to be a legal expert. He has no idea what he's talking about. He played me one of his amazing rap songs, and that was that. And I didn't really put two and two together until, this debate's going on. And I'm like,
I forgot about the raps.
Yeah,
Spotify.
oh my God, this is the same freaking guy, right? And I'm starting to remember. And then somebody in my comments had kind of pointed out, this guy is a fucking fraud. And I was like, yeah, so it is the same guy that threatened, Schrodinger's cat's family and tried to bury him in lawsuits and filed a bunch of copyright claims trying to get people's channels taken down. Very Chili-esque behavior. And people are like, why are you dragging up the past? Bro, it was a year ago. And it's directly related to YouTube. I'm not bringing up his criminal record, any convictions, any, family issues, nothing personal like that. This is all shit that he's not that far removed from. And now he's essentially trying the same tactics. He's just doing it against someone that you don't like instead. It's still the same fucking thing. If it's unacceptable when it's done to Schrodinger's cat, then it's unacceptable if it's done to anybody. It's ridiculous. He's putting this man's address on his YouTube channel. If Chili DeCastro, I'll use Blue Bacon because he just got a protective order, which I also think is kind of dumb. But people are really, he's sort of the poster child for victimization by Chili DeCastro right now is Blue Bacon. Imagine if Chili DeCastro started making live streams and tagging the location of the live stream as Blue Bacon's home address every single time. You people would be losing your fucking shit. You would be disgusted, and probably rightfully so. You don't need to do those things, right? But it's fine if it's done to someone you don't like, right? That's crazy. It's nuts.
Back asswards.
This is great. I love it. I just want to sit here and read the comments.
Yeah.
Your ill-begotten watch.
My ill-begotten.
I got
This is
that.
agreeing, disagreeing. LA is a phony and he bullies women. I
blew all the
probably
money.
it was so his fucking
Right.
style though. Jesus Christ, same thing. Broken system,
Yeah.
broken trust. You're not invited. Honestly, dude. I am annoyed with you right now. Okay, because I remember fucking bringing people together to bail your stupid ass out of jail just for you to immediately turn around and do the same thing all over again. I knew that was a risk when we did it, but fuck you for real. You're an idiot. You can't get out of your own way. I will always be open to bailing out auditors, particularly, and I know you're going to be pissed off, Josh, but honestly, the ones that use drugs, I don't want you sitting in jail over the weekend, fucking sweating that shit out, putting yourself in a position potentially when you get out. Okay. I don't want that for you as a human being. But never again will I ever be helping you out of jail. It's on to the next one that everybody hates. Really, Josh. Go fuck yourself. I had no reason to do what I did other than the Chili connection, maybe. And trust me, Chili's raised money for plenty of other people that I didn't feel like I needed to intervene for. I did for you. You fucked it up. I don't know. You must like being in jail or something. You can't get out of your own goddamn way, Josh. Don't come around my fucking panel. You don't have an invite right now. I'm upset with you.
Mom's mad.
Show us the doxing live stream. I'll pull it up right now. I could pull up several that I found on his fucking page. Hold on.
No, what Mark does is, you could put the location
Right.
of where your video was taken. He
Right.
puts
I
my
see that.
he puts my address as where the video was taken on his videos. I mean, I've never once hit him with a privacy complaint. I've never once hit, frauditor troll, any of you, Dr. Dave, any of these, anti-frauditing, whatever you call them channels. I've never hit anyone with a copyright strike. I've never hit anybody with a privacy complaint. You guys do what you got to do. You talk about us being grifters. You are literally grifting off of a grift then. That's what you're doing. So, you're literally making money playing my
I
video.
think to a certain extent, the commentary and criticism has an incredibly important role in.
I don't care that they do it, but I'm just saying.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. For instance, I noticed that the legal expert Mark Stout just ripped down my entire live stream between him and Merb and reposted it on his channel. No commentary, no editing. That is not fair use. You have violated my copyright because that was my video on my channel. I'm the one who scheduled the live and fired that up and got everybody together, right? I have the presumptive copyright. I'm not going to file a strike on it. I just think that it's incredibly hypocritical and ignorant that somebody who would continually file copyright strikes, as Mark has, would turn around and, steal someone's entire video and re-upload it and think that that's fine, no big deal, and cry.
LA.
Re-uploaded it to cry.
LA is as genuine as a $4 bill. That's a good one. Oh man.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, and I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be making a bunch of judgments based on I honestly haven't seen I don't know if I've seen any of your content. Being honest,
Wouldn't care. I mean, again, I'm not. All those anti-fraud editing channels. They do videos about me all the time. I watch them. They're great. They're funny. I think they're funny. I mean, there's a reason why their videos get 20,000 views as opposed to 200, 400,000 views. People don't want to watch you talk shit, but that's your right. Talk shit about my videos and how I bully people and harass women and whatever else you say. And
very sensitive about the subject, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why? I don't care.
Well, you're a little defensive when you're like, well, that's why.
No, I don't. If I was defensive, I'd be hitting everybody with copyright strikes and doing all this. And no, I don't care. No, I like it.
Use of your time. I'm trying to find this one video where he fucking chimped out in the.
I brought up this comment because it was in caps. It said, "Kate, you weren't even fair in that debate, which is why everyone's upset."
Fair how? Like what? I don't understand. I asked questions. That's it. There's not. When someone says, I understand the limited public forum and the forum test inside and out, this is my wheelhouse. I know all the cases. I've read them front to back. As this man, Mark Stout, has said, asking him basic clarifying questions is not an attack nor an ambush. Taking him at his word and working off the assumption that he knows what the fuck he's talking about is not an attack just because it turns out that he lied and he doesn't. I don't know how much clearer I can be. And I'm a little wound tight on this because when I really get in and hit that wall of that echo chamber tribalism bullshit, it just frustrates me. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I don't hate Mark Stout. I'm not out to destroy what little of a life he may have, right? Doing these things that would make most people miserable, suing left and right and whatever else. I don't, it's nothing personal against him. He's an idiot though. And it should be okay to say that out loud. Just like it's okay to say out loud that I'm a trash bag or I'm a cunt or I'm a bitch. These are just facts. Okay. It's fine. The fact that you're taking it as an attack should give you some sort of red flag that, maybe some cognitive dissonance is occurring in my head that I should address right now. Because saying that he's not a lawyer and he doesn't know what he's talking about is not the same as saying he's an awful person, right? His reaction to all this starts to make me think that he's not a great person, honestly. If you can't take a little bit of criticism, what the fuck are you doing putting yourself out there? I don't know.
Very true. I agree.
And I mean, I watched the courthouse video. I don't know that it matters what was said. The guy clearly has some anger issues when he's fucking getting up in someone's face who is seated, right? Not moving, seated, and chimps out and,
in front of attorneys, actual attorneys in a courthouse. That's not how you listen.
No.
I am, I understand Mark is older than me. He's my senior, he's, but I grew out of that kind of, I don't want to live that kind of lifestyle. I'm okay.
I think that's subtle shade. He's my senior.
Dude,
I can look it up.
You drop quiet disses real often.
Yeah, real sly.
I think that's just my stone ass 2 cents, but whatever it's worth, man. I think that might be what's catching some of the anger towards you too. I mean, full disclosure, I've watched, I don't know about all your audits, but I've seen a lot of them, man. I've watched for quite a while. And your channel's blown up. You're doing really well. That's stoke worthy. You get excited by it, right? And I understand when people are coming after you and maybe backbiting and everything, that you're gonna drop disses on people and shit like that, but I think it just rubs some people the wrong way, maybe just how it translates. but I think it's understandable from my perspective. But you do it a lot, man. It's
I mean,
like,
but if you can,
I like it.
if you can, you know, I might, you know, it might be subliminal or, you know, underhanded, but, you know, if you're going to try and attack me, I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to defend myself at least, you know, passive aggressively at least, because, you know, I'm not going to call you a stupid cunt bag bitch, you know. I don't curse at people on my channel. I don't do any of that. I don't agree. And this is the problem with the tribalism that we were speaking about, Kate, is that you can call me a piece of shit. Anyone on here can call me a piece of shit. Anybody could say that, you know, I'm a grifter and whatever else you want to say about me. It doesn't matter. Their opinions don't matter to me. I just want to be able for people to be able to say that about everybody and not get it. Like, you can say whatever you want. I don't like there's certain auditors out there that I don't like. Just because they're an auditor doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to defend them, or just because you're a, you know, anti-auditor that I'm just going to hate you. You know, Team Skeptic, I've had great conversations with him in email. You know, I'm pretty sure he's anti-frauditor. And thanks a lot, Kate, for bringing up the frauditing, because now it's all I get in my emails. And, you know, frauditor, the people are, you know, they make their email frauditor killer and on protonmail.com. And so thanks for coining that term.
Yeah, no, I actually pulled it out of the PK server on Discord. There's a lot of people now, like, it's so overused that I wish that we had never started using it, you know? Sort of like as soon as it escaped Discord, now, like, literally somebody was like, "You're welcome for that phrase that Mark Stout came up with." Like, nah, after 3 years, he surely did not. You can have it. I don't want it anymore. It's played out, but, like, come on. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Just like there's not all, you know, it's not, you know, life is not black and white. There's gray areas. Not all police. There's a lot of people, when I reach out to officers and they come on my live streams or I do these trainings, like, there's people on my own community.
Is the tribalism we're talking. So many people are like, the channel's gem ship. They have him as a guest. Like, how are you ever going to form any opinions on anything or learn as a person if you shut out people you don't agree with? Or, like, come on, that's crazy.
I believe we've had, let's see, Felipe Hemming, which upset people when we have him up. I still have him up. I like Felipe. We've had Rogue Nation come up before, I believe. Oh my God, how am I blanking on John's channel name? John Gray, what the fuck? Extra Good Citizen, he's been up here. Obviously, Josh Abrams has been up here more than once. I think we've had San Joaquin come up. Pretty sure we've had San Joaquin come up at one point. Never Furry Potato, because honestly, like, I can't eat like that bitch. She's not even worth having a conversation with. She's fucking cooked. Unless she wants to have a conversation, I guess it might be interesting. Bow's come up here to troll me a few times. Like, I've had people, like, I've broken system, broken trust. We let him bloviate on for hours. Like, this is not new. It's not new. I don't give a fuck who we like, honestly. I'm just like, I don't ascribe to that. I have found that there are plenty of things to discuss on both sides of the coin here. So I mean, if you want to jump ship, that's fine. And it's not much of a ship to begin with.
It's a tugboat and there's holes in it, so
Right. Ridiculous. Thank you, Jeff Love. Jeff loves pigs. Jeff loves pigs. I like that we have our own Jeff hates pigs, like anti-Jeff hates pigs. I mean, this whole thing is just and like, I mean, if Mark Stout was still doing things that he was doing as legalized drugs, you'd all hate him, you know. He's using the same tactics and just switching around. You think he's a fucking hero? Like, that's kind of crazy. Sorry, that's kind of nuts.
right. If you love someone just because they're on the same side as you need to realize there shouldn't be sides.
Yeah. Look, he's got so many Long Island audit videos as I'm going through here. Here we go. I'm going to show you, like, one right here. Sorry. I mean, I'm assuming that your address is on public records right now.
Yeah, don't care. It's been doxed enough.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be sensitive to it as much as possible, but, like, you know, once it's on public record, it just is. But here we go. Right here, we can see that he has tagged this video with this man's home address, and this was done 11 months ago, right? Tagged the video with this man's home address.
Zoinks.
Right. Look at.
I mean, and again, if I was some single guy out there,
he has tagged with this man's home address. Look at that.
he loves me, that's for sure. Look at all those videos.
But But just imagine that Chili DeCastro was doing this to Blue Bacon, or prior to you deciding that I am the spawn of Satan, a lot of you, before, if Chili had done this to me, or if Chili did this to Team Skeptic or Irish Demon or the other people that you like you would be like, look at all these videos just by pulling up the address, all the ones that he has tagged this man's address in.
Ones that have nothing to do with me. It looks like.
How long has he lived in that fucking tent?
Look at this.
His whole life, he was born there.
Born in the tent.
Manger.
Then are you getting into it with San Joaquin too?
Oh, San Joaquin is, again, it's when people, he thinks that because I am an auditor that I'm supposed to, and he became an auditor and he's supposedly big in this community. I don't bow down to anyone. I don't like the way he runs his, all he does is post other people's audits and makes money off of them. Don't care.
Right.
Never said anything about white auditors. Like you can make as many videos as you want about me, San Joaquin. It is what it is. Again, don't care. But if you don't agree with an auditor or you don't go out on an audit with an auditor, like people want, hey, come out on this audit with me. And I don't want to get involved with certain auditors because at the end of the day, I can't control the situation at that point. They might escalate it and something bad might happen. They might start provoking the officers and saying all these crazy things. And then, I can get myself into some serious trouble. I can't control the situation. So I don't go out with them. And because I don't do that, they get upset. And they get all in their feelings. And they're like, well, he doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about the community. I can only control myself. There's a lot of auditors in the community that, post it.
Do you want to come up and talk about it? No,
Hell yeah.
Oh, I mean, do you want to come up and talk about it? I'm still just processing how many videos this dude has tagged your home address in. If everybody on every side could put aside the tribalism and the us versus them mentality for 10 seconds and decide that shit like this is unacceptable, that would be great. There is no reason, because I know what the intention is in tagging this guy's home address on your videos, Mark. It's not educational. It's not public interest. It's not because it's pertinent to the video at all. You're trying to intimidate another person online. It's a fucking dick move. It's a bitch move, right? Don't do it. Everybody would be upset. If Long Island Audit started tagging people's home addresses in his video, somebody would pick up on that and be super upset about it, rightfully so. Don't do that. But this is the sort of shit that Mark Stout is still engaging in, and everybody's okay with it because you're okay with the target, right? You were okay when I was going at Chili and calling him an idiot. I switched the target up to somebody it's a fucking problem now. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Think about where you land on the bell curve. Yeah. Seriously. Somebody's coming hard for Felipe in the comments right now. I see that.
I was wondering what was going on. Some of the comments were hilarious, though. It was saying that Long Island Audits drinks pineapple juice before they hook up and stuff.
I get it.
Hey, what are you going to do?
It's polite. Oh, God, did you post the link?
I did. I posted the link. Mostly for San Joaquin because, let's talk about it.
Gonna get a bunch of riffraff up here.
Get me on, Katie says. Yeah, I got you, San Joaquin. Click the link, my friend.
This is just
take your finger and
right
click the link.
Yeah, just take your little finger and go.
So, at the end of the day, I will stay on for a few minutes because I'm not going to listen because I told you I wasn't going to be on a long time. No one's, at the end of the day, for fighting with San Joaquin is not what I came here to do. San Joaquin has his own opinion of me, and I can literally tell you. And if you've seen my videos, Boomer,
address too.
I'm sorry?
Someone said you've tagged his address on your videos before too.
Never. I don't tag people's address. I tag the actual place I was at.
I'll bring it up and look into it, but I'm doubtful of that statement. And I know you're not all about drama. I talk to a lot about it.
I don't get involved in the drama. So if that's what I try and just stay with what I do. People are gonna hate me. And Kate, I've already explained to you why a lot of auditors don't like me and I'll say it on here. My second month of auditing, I was arrested for interfering on a traffic stop, and I went to an agreement, didn't plead guilty to anyone. I went into an agreement with the Harford County Sheriffs where I apologized that the officer was getting death threats, and they dropped the charges in exchange. that was it. You know, at the end of the day, I did what was best for me and my family at the time, and I don't care what anyone thinks.
Oh, look at this clusterfuck backstage.
All these people.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hi, Kate.
You're muted,
Oh, shit.
darling.
Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to mute so I wasn't talking over Long Island, but I'm upset with you, Josh, and I don't want to talk to you. You can come back when you get your shit together. Fuck you. Fuck you. You can't even stay out of jail for more than a couple months. It's unacceptable. Goodbye.
Oh, I got half a syllable.
That's what you get here when you do dumb shit like that. And I'm mad for you. Okay, that's what I'm mad. I'm mad at you for you, Josh.
Nasty Nathaniel, well, how come you never called me interesting?
Shiz, you're a beautiful woman. Would you have a margarita with me?
Obviously. I would have one and then knock the second one over all over the table.
You know, I don't.
Kate.
I just want to say something really quick. Actually, I just wanted to ask a question. I even made a super chat. I'm so desperate to do this. This is my big moment, and then I'm going to go away. I just wanted to tell Long Island Audits, you are a very, well, first, you're an excellent auditor, but most importantly, you're a very handsome man, and I just want to know, would you ever have a margarita with me?
I am married. Nasty Nathaniel.
You can still have margarita if you're married.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think my wife would appreciate it. But
I'll drink his margarita for him.
We'll go with you.
Well, I know Kate will have a margarita with me, and Shiz.
Right.
We could all have margaritas together. How about that?
All right.
Come to New York. Seriously, Nate, come to New York City with us. Team Skeptic's going to be there.
When are you going?
I believe the end of February.
I might just be able to do that.
That would be amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to do some IRL streaming, you know?
Yeah, maybe we can audit the Scientology New York org.
Would you do that?
I'm not having those
Can't take
fucking
pictures in
weird
public.
stalk me. Nope.
I'm down. I am there for it. That is what I want to do with my time.
I'll stay at the hotel and order takeout, and you guys can go get haunted by Scientologists.
If either one of us get arrested, I will cover the bail.
All right. And I'll cover the margaritas.
Perfect.
The number one rule, carry cash for the bail.
She always does.
Try not to.
Well, anyways, I'm going to boogie. Like I said, Long Island, you're a legend, and you're very handsome.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate
And
it.
Kate, you're a fascinating woman, and so are you, Shiz.
Yay, I'm finally fascinating. I'm so excited.
All right.
He's awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
I thought he was going to, go off on me. I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's do it.
No, he just wants to have a margarita.
Hey.
Yeah, I had meant to ask Long Island Audits. You mentioned having an attorney. So why then are you listed as pro se on some of the court filings that Mark has posted?
No, I never said I had an attorney for that case. Never once. I'm looking into getting an attorney on that case, but a lot of them from Virginia do not want. They know Mark as a, frivolous lawsuit filer, and they want a lot of money because he's just going to drown them in paperwork. So I'm getting that together. But no, there's some cases I do pro se, and this is what people don't understand. There's some cases that I do pro se, and there's some cases that I hire attorneys for. My Danbury case, I hired a $20,000 attorney, $5,000 attorney in Maryland. There's some cases I handle on my own, some cases I don't.
Okay.
There you go.
And then certainly I understand this is pending litigation, so answer what you feel comfortable with. But if you saw the documents that Mark had attached to his community page, I just recently, within the past few days, I think, they mentioned you not having addressed some discovery requests. Are you actively participating in the lawsuit, or what would your response to those be?
Yeah, so Mark is being less than truthful when he says I'm not providing documents to him. I did answer his interrogatories. So the thing was, most of it was not going to answer because he sent me like an interrogatories, like maybe 50 different questions. And like, what's my social security number? How much money did I make this year? you know, what did I name my firstborn son? Like a whole bunch of different questions. Like, what's my credit score? Like a whole bunch of questions that were irrelevant to the case. So I answered the ones that were relevant. I'm not going to give a loser like Mark my social security number. I answered the ones that were relevant and sent it to him. If that's not good enough for him, the judge can force me to give him my social, I guess. And I don't think it's relevant. But he asked a lot of unrelevant questions. But I am actively participating in the lawsuit. I did not make the last hearing. I was on a plane. I had prior things to do. So.
All right. And you probably don't know who I am, but I am an attorney myself. And I would agree that asking for somebody's social security number in interrogatories is improper.
Yeah, no. I mean, he asked for when I tell you he asked for everything, he basically, you know, every little thing that he could, you know, my W-2s, like everything. He asked for everything. And that might be, you know, relevant in certain aspects. I think he might have just copied and pasted it from maybe a lawsuit that it was relevant in. My social media, like handles and all types of things. I don't know. I'm doing my best to just, you know, stay afloat and just because at the end of the day, as an attorney, I would just argue. My only argument would be he has no damages. There is no damages that he has incurred because of this incident.
And again, answer at your own discretion. This case, it appears, was filed in state court in Virginia, but you are a resident of New York, aren't you?
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a resident of New York.
So did you not want to challenge jurisdiction on that one?
I think it's because I didn't challenge the jurisdiction because it occurred in Virginia. This incident occurred in Virginia when I went to serve him the summons. That occurred in Virginia. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I need to get a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. You know, I can't. You know, Mark is just going to keep hitting me with all these different motions, and you know, this is what he does. And he says he beats attorneys, and I don't know if that's true, but you know, I don't know. I'm gonna get an attorney to represent myself, and we'll see what happens. I like these questions though; they're pretty good. I don't care to answer them. That's fine.
Yeah, I certainly don't mean to be ambushing you, but just things that I, as an attorney, am curious about.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the feeling in my Discord server anyway is that there's a general consensus that this lawsuit is fucking frivolous. You know, it's just it's very Chili-esque, you know, to the point where Chili's actually copying and pasting parts of Stout's lawsuit using them in his own, which, you know, it's kind of astounding. I would
so
not
I'll address
yeah.
I'll address the comment you
Been
put up.
asked a bunch of times, yeah.
Okay, I'll adjust the comment you put up. So I won $12,500, not $12,000, $12,500 in a settlement with the city of Hagerstown. We settled fairly quickly. I was arrested in Hagerstown, and I didn't even go to one court date. The state's attorney took a look at the charges and immediately dropped them. So I appreciated that. And, you know, I tried to get them to issue a formal apology and we would have been done, but they did rather throw $12,500 at me. That's the number that I received that was written to me, but my lawyer takes 33.3% of that. And then I said I was going to donate some of the money that was left over to the city of Hagerstown, which I am going to do. I just was home with my family for the holidays. So, you know, and again, so I don't have to prove anything to anyone, but I'm just saying that I will do it. Believe me or not. That's it.
Okay. I have no idea about any of that. So I
just wanted to, you put it up there. So I wanted to address it. I mean, that's all.
I was just curious because a lot of people were asking it and then they started doing it in caps. So it was important.
Oh, it's so much more important when it's in caps. So much more important.
I mean, there's questions, I guess, and I don't know. I don't know a lot about this backstory because it's just not something that I have followed, to be completely honest. I mean, it's just strange to me because people are gonna walk away from this and just be like, I hate Long Island audits. So
that's what's gonna be the comment section.
Frivolously for millions of dollars.
They're gonna hate you for talking to them. They're gonna hate me for being here while you talked to them. It's gonna be a whole shit show.
And Merb gets a ton of shit because, I guess, just his mannerisms. But even for the David Earl Warden trial, he was saying, I want the jury to render a decision because that will dictate how he reacts, essentially. You know, if it turns out that he was not guilty of that stuff, he didn't want that to be held against him. That's how we should view the criminal justice system. You know, sometimes things aren't just black and white. It's not one side versus the other side.
Feelings-based offenses are considered especially heinous.
And that's the real issue, is that, you know, you can't just say, you know, somebody's doing something and, you know, we hate Long Island Audit. You guys all hate me because I do certain things. I've never been found guilty in a court of law for my activism. So, I mean, the court systems don't agree with you, and you can be butthurt about it all you want. But, you know, there's a reason why when my trials are about to be recorded, they drop charges, and there's a reason why they do these things. You know, they're like, people always like to say, oh, dropped charges and dismissed charges is not a win. You didn't beat them. I strongly disagree that drop charges are, I can't help it. No, please, state's attorney, don't drop the charges against me because I want to take this all the way to trial. Like, I can't do that. So there's a reason why all these state's attorneys, and I know almost all of you watching right now, you guys want to see me in jail, but I'm at this beautiful hotel right now. I'm not going to jail anytime soon, hopefully, you know. So I'm home with my family most of the time. So
see,
you know.
the dismissed charges notion is one where I would disagree with you on, because and I guess that depends on how you view the term win, because a lot of auditors and sovereign citizens especially will claim that they won a case, implying as though they won it on the merits, meaning they established positive case law that can be used in support of other cases. Like if a sovereign citizen is claiming, I won my case of traveling, not driving on without a license, when it was really dismissed, you can't use a dismissal to support another sovereign citizen's case for driving without a license. Like, you can't point to the case that was dismissed and say, see, this was dismissed, now you have to dismiss this case. That's not how it works. So
I agree with that 100%.
That respect,
but you can't do it in the reverse either. That's all. That's my point. It's like, you can't just say, oh, you know, the sovereign citizen or the frauditor, you know, he got his case dismissed, that means he was wrong, right? You can't do it in the reverse either. You can't just justify that I was wrong for doing what I did, that's why the case was dismissed, or whatever, you know, people are saying. But I agree.
If you win a case, it's usually you proved your innocence. And when it's dropped,
you're not guilty.
You're never found innocent. You're found not guilty.
And a lot of times when cases are dismissed for failure to prosecute, like if the district attorney or whatever the comparable equivalent in that jurisdiction is, withdraws the case, a lot of times that's done without prejudice, meaning it could be filed again if they chose to. More often than not, they certainly don't choose to file it again because it's an economy of courtroom issue. But if you win a case, it can't be filed again because you won it. You either win or you lose, and you have the option to appeal. It's not like something that could be refiled on that same issue. So there's a distinction there.
What's my cup size? Usually between 8 and 16 ounces. It depends how thirsty I am.
Right. I don't know with San Joaquin coming up. He demanded it and then jetted, and that's fine too.
I wasn't going to argue with him anyway, so.
I'm not trying to even, like, sometimes I'm in the mood to drum up a little bit of drama and get an interesting conversation.
Not me. Only drama I'll do is Mark Stout. Because
I mean, Kate, was this whole stream not drumming up drama?
Well, but it's squarely.
You started it by saying you wanted to, you were going to piss people off.
But right, but I mean, I discord between other people. It's really trying to like stoke the flames of whatever San Joaquin, Long Island Audit war is going on. I don't even know. I feel like
he has a big enough channel. He has a big enough channel. If he has something to say about me, he could say it on his channel. That's all.
I think I hate when people talk at each other through videos. I was saying this to Stout when he was telling us, he kept going, Merv and I we've been through this. We've been like, no, you've been making videos at each other. It's not an actual discussion, you know. Not that they tend to be that productive on panels anyway, but they're interesting a lot of the time. Right. Like, I mean, honestly, and I mean, I will say, objectively speaking, you have been a lot more reasonable and respectful than, you know, Mark Stout was when simply asked basic questions, you know, just clarifying questions. So that's something right there. that I wish people would pay attention to a little bit more. Because I mean, he literally flipped out when he was asked to define a word.
I mean, it is kind of telling when a person has an unhinged reaction to being asked basic clarifying questions about their arguments.
What I couldn't understand is everybody in the comment section was saying how calm he was, and I was like, did you not hear him like say, "Motherfucker, I told you I need to read the case law"? Like, how was he calm at all in that debate? How was he calm at all? He wasn't. He was cursing and screaming and going on like, you know, I don't know. I don't see how people are. You must have not watched the whole video, I guess.
They watched it through the lens of, this is a guy that is telling me what I want to hear. I like that. I mean, they're moved by the idea that their beliefs are so strong and righteous that like people are literally being turned away from the darkness into the light, and that is enough to justify everything. I mean, he's literally like, it's the same fucking script as when he was auditing. He's just now on the opposite end of the issue, but his character remains the same. Okay, I'll ask, yes, Long Island audits. What are your credentials as far as speaking on the law? What are your qualifications?
I have no credentials as far as speaking on the law. None whatsoever. I just the only credentials I have is what I've studied, and you know that's far as I represented myself in a case, and I beat the case. And well, would you count, Paul? Would you count winning your case on a motion to dismiss? That's a win, right?
On a motion to dismiss, sure.
Yeah. So I've won a case on a motion to dismiss that was against me, and you know, other than that, people just love the way I interact with the public and our government officials, and they love to watch my videos, and I think I do it in a good way. I don't think that I go in people and start. I don't think that I don't just go putting cameras in people's faces. That's not what I do. It's not what I'm about. So you watching my channel saying that I'm harassing people, again, the government reaches out to me to train to de-escalate. Like, why would they do that if they thought that I was harassing government officials? That's not my goal. I treat everybody with the same respect that they treat me. The only person I disrespect is Mark Stout. That's it. And that's indirect.
You make a shirt with his face on it, and then he can wear the one with your face, and then you guys can just like.
I mean, if we're getting to that level, I already think, like, to be fair, again, like, there's an active restraining order, and you know, I mean, you're directly sort of, I mean, I don't know. It's just like he can't really retort without getting himself into a really gray area. That I think is a little unfair. I really like, you know, and it's because I've been hit.
I can't have a conversation.
Bullshit fucking.
How long is the restraining order?
We have a court date, I think, in February to see if they're going to extend it or not. Again, I didn't put the restraining order to silence him. He can still make all the videos he wants about me like he's been doing. It's just he can't harass me in my email, and he would never him and I would never, just like I wouldn't have it with San Joaquin. I'm never going to have an argument. You know, if you want to, there's a difference between people who just hate you just to hate you and people who question. If somebody wants to come up here and question why I do what I do and question my motives and question, you know, specific questions, but if you're just going to come up and try and, you know, harass me into trying to get me to, you know, gotcha, because, you know, I'm going to harass Long Island Audit just to harass me because you have hate in your heart. Get it out your heart. I have no hate for anyone. So that's it.
You're definitely a lot more measured than he is. I mean, I think it really is like some sort of weird jealousy that he's got going on here. It's just ridiculous when it starts fucking spiraling into, like, you know, lawsuits and, you know, court dates and all this other stuff that, like, you know, these are food fights. I said the same thing about, you know, my issue with Chili de Castro. These are internet food fights. They need to remain on the internet. I don't want to burden the taxpayers or bog down the court systems with this nonsense. I don't think it's not helping anybody. I don't trust the government enough to have them, you know, intercede in personal problems that I have in my life and play mediator. I don't feel like that's fair to the system. I feel like it's not the proper use of the system, and I don't trust the system enough to think that it's going to do a good job with that. So I don't really, I mean, it boggles my mind when I say they should go down to the level that it has here, and people are cheering him on.
Because it's me. Because it's me. That's why. Because
I had people hitting me up like, "Are you still going to support Kate after that debate last night?" I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but like, we're real life friends. I'm not going to cut you off over something that happened on your fucking show.
That Mark Stout got his feelings hurt because he was asked questions he couldn't answer.
It was crazy. I don't even know what happened in the debate. I didn't even watch most of it.
You should go back at some point and watch. I mean, as much as you can. There were points when, like, even I was kind of almost checking out because I was like, "This is just a fucking pissing match." You know, Merv was laughing at him all the time. He was quite smug. You know, and people were unhappy with the lack of professionalism. Which, I mean, like, it's YouTube, guys. I don't know what you expected as far. Did you think this was going to be like the the presidential debates or something? Like what did you think was? I mean. Even those aren't very cordial these days. Fuck. But like, it's YouTube. And so, but Mark was confused. He rambled a lot. He got very upset right out of the gate when I was just trying to establish sort of their background and their credentials. As soon as I asked him his credentials, he lost his shit, absolutely just lost his shit. Like, I don't know how people would walk away from that and be like, yeah, no, Mark seems like a really smart, reasonable guy. Like, he's objectively not.
So most of the support is just because he switched sides.
And Merv is a smug asshole, apparently.
And you double teamed him. That's what they said.
Yeah, they said that I ganged up on him. I tricked him. I don't know. I gave him literally exactly what he wanted, down to like the exact format that he wanted. And I opened up with this bizarre screenshot that he wanted to pull up, which was yet another shot at Long Island audits. Like, I was recently given the advice and the challenge of evaluating a long-standing personal feud that I have by just refusing to respond or acknowledge it at all. It's a hard thing to do. It's a good test though, right? Because while it's mutual and it goes back and forth, it's easy to say, well, so-and-so wouldn't have done this except this person did this. If one party refrains from the feud at all, then it really at least will illustrate the level of obsession and commitment to it that the other party has, right? So I would project that I'm going to go at a allotted period of time ignoring my feud, and that the other party will continue to obsess and just go deeper and deeper and deeper. I would project that if that happened in your feud, Long Island audits, that the other party would probably do the same. You might want to test it out at some point. I mean,
I don't think that's the case, because this has been going on since almost 2 years now, since I first started my channel,
right? And
I went months and months and months with just ignoring Mark, and he just continues to make videos. And I have a lot of supporters, and they send me his videos, and then even my own family, they're like, look, did you see this guy? He's like, because he'll openly defame me, he'll openly, and that's a problem. You cannot just, people, it's one thing to have thick skin, like you can say your opinion of me all you want, but when you start to openly defame me, intentionally defame my character and who I am, I have a problem with that. And I didn't even sue him for it. Now I am. It's just a countersuit because it was so easy. I didn't have to go file anything. I had to answer the lawsuit anyway, so I answered it with a countersuit as well. But defaming people is never okay. You can't just defame people. You can't just say whatever you want and it's presented as fact, and that's what he does because he's delusional.
Oh, can I address this one? The money from the fundraiser all went to the retainer for Wish. The money for broken trust was raised in a back room by people in Discord. It was not any of the donated money.
Yeah, not only have I raised money that have gone into legal fees, but actually when all is said and done, I spent in excess of what I raised, which came out of my own pocket. If not that I want people to feel bad for me or anything, and I'm certainly not going to be doing any more rounds of fundraising ever with any of this shit. I know the risks that I'm taking right now, and that Stout is also sort of a litigious individual. But if he turns around and decides that he wants to pull up some frivolous bullshit, like I already stated my new policy and procedure on these things, and I'm going to stick to it because I'm not going to get bullied around. I mean, this guy literally, he couldn't even wait like an hour after the fucking I'm not even going to call it a debate. It's silly to call it. The conversation with Merv ended before he was immediately trying to spin the narrative. Like, I see that. I'm not an attorney. I am an averagely intelligent woman, but I'm shrewd. I understand how people work, and I already have pulled this guy's card. I don't care what the throngs of his supporters, think or feel about it. Respectfully. Respectfully.
It was just nuts that before, like, as soon as the debate ended, everyone went fucking apeshit. I hit Kate up and I was like, what happened? Like, people told me not to talk to you anymore. I was like, what did you do?
I was so much easier on him than I would be with other people too, because like I was trying to be. And then I think one of the most offensive comments that I read to both me and Mark Stout was somebody, kind of asserted that he is mentally handicapped, and we were bullying a mentally handicapped person.
Ooh.
and that was an awful thing to do, and we're bullying strategy. I don't think he's a bright man, but I don't think that he is disabled. If I'm wrong, then I apologize. It was not my intent. I did not set out to bully a mentally handicapped man.
Timmy.
Yeah.
He seems more like a Jimmy than a Timmy, but we'll allow it.
With that like secret manipulative side, yeah. I know all the lore. Yeah.
I mean, they both did train for the Olympics and join, what was it, the Crips?
Yeah.
The Crips.
Have you heard this joke? Have you heard this joke?
I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I've seen people bring it up. Like, people telling me you have a past. You don't judge Mark's past. I haven't even I would be lying if I said I haven't viewed his record. Like, I viewed his record. I haven't brought it up. I mean, that puts me in a tight spot too, because honestly, most of his record revolves around drug offenses, and it's pretty well known that I don't like to hold that against people because I am so opinionated about the war on drugs. But I mean, some of the shit contained within those keys, he's done some dumb shit. Some shit that if you had any sort of legal prowess, I feel like you would not be inclined to do during an arrest. Yeah. Pink and Diamond Witch is also disgusted with, how Merv was acting. Like, I mean, he was being smart.
Like yeah.
Being smug doesn't mean that you're wrong. Factually.
He never
you
called.
You don't have to agree with someone's delivery to agree with the point they're making.
It's not just that, but I mean, I don't know. I've seen Merb in all sorts of different, or I should say, taking different positions. Some of which I know. Yeah.
Great.
It's weird because he awkwardly fake flirts with me, so I shouldn't have said it like that. But whatever. Right, but I mean, I'm saying I've seen him defend some positions that I do not agree with. That being said, like, I don't think that he was disgusting or vile. He never even called Mark Stout a name. Like, he didn't disparage him at all. He never called it. Like, I assumed that he was going to use some slurs towards the mentally disabled against him, and he didn't. But Mark called him names. It's just it's weird that like I felt like at some points I was watching a different conversation than other people were. And it really
weren't having the same conversation. They were just going at each other half the time.
No, but I mean, like, for everybody was so outraged about Merb's behavior, but I don't really think that he behaved poorly, other than like the snickering. It was disrespectful. I get that, but I mean, like, it wouldn't be enough to trigger me. That's for sure. I can handle being laughed at. Apparently, Stout can't. I don't see what other people see. And just the idea that he's so anti, frauditing now, and he's really doing God's work, and he's copying and pasting, an argument that was used against him by a prosecutor that prevailed. So the only it's not even his work, really. He's copying and pasting work product from another attorney that was used against him. That's how he knows it's going to work. It's not some big feat. I don't see why people think that he's really making such a big difference. And within that conversation with Merb, he staunchly defended his actions in filming a DEA office, even though he had been trespassed, sued for it, lost, and is now appealing. And he kind of
currently appealing.
What? Yeah, he's
currently appealing. While he hates frauditors, he's still, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't just say, I hate frauditors, and then you're still pursuing your frauditing career behind the scenes because it's going to make you. It has the potential of making you some money. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and when he kind of.
Okay, I'll do it then. What is everyone talking about? A poster? Everyone's
don't
been
wanna-
talking about it.
I'm ignoring poster 7 because honestly, like, I don't
What is
want to hear
that?
this guy explain poster 7. That's gonna give me a fucking headache.
Photographs may be taken, and yeah, I've seen the videos, man. Let's see.
I don't want to address it either, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Super
Listen,
exciting.
So
if anyone
Yeah.
wants to argue poster 7, we had like a
Oh.
fucking year-long argument about poster 7 between like all of my Discord server, Rogue Nation, and John Gray. Feel free to jump in there, I guess, and restart.
Go check
that.
out one of my videos. I would definitely go check out one of my videos where I spoke to a postal inspector about poster 7. He can explain it to you because I can't.
All right. I'll look for it.
All right.
I
The postal
will
inspector will
watch it.
explain it to all of you. 'Cause-
My least favorite topic, poster 7. Jesus Christ. And you know, the other question obviously is like, you know, where did you go to school to be a journalist?
Okay. I didn't go to school for journalism.
I knew
Didn't.
that.
That doesn't mean that I can, that doesn't mean that I cannot be. That's what you guys just don't understand, you know, the people in the chat. Like, you can be an independent journalist, and everybody always says, "Where's the story? You're not putting out any of these stories." The story is how the government officials react to a man who's peacefully exercising his rights. That's it. That's the story. You don't like the story, don't watch the video. Don't get triggered over it. Just don't watch the video. I can call myself an independent journalist. It's not like, you know, Mark calls himself past a paralegal. It's not like fraud or anything to call yourself a journalist. You don't need some special degree. There's no bar exam to become a journalist. You can be an independent journalist. You can do whatever you want. There you go.
I feel like auditing has more in common with IRL streaming at this point, which is my new thing. I enjoy it, you know.
I think some of them do. Like, there's that dude that burps on old ladies, and he's going for clicks and likes for that. You know, that's one style.
He burps on old ladies.
Pretty much, and he stares at people while they try to eat. It's you know.
Yeah, if you do that, then I mean, again, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. It's you know, everybody has rights, so you can exercise them in every way that you want. And if you want, I think those have consequences. I don't think people are going to watch you if you're just going to, you know, harass people, literally harass people. I know everybody thinks that I harass people. I would love to for somebody to point out a timestamp in my video where I'm actively harassing someone or standing in front of someone and just making them feel uncomfortable. Never done it. Never.
Has anyone ever told you that you're making me feel uncomfortable?
I'm sure people have told. Yes, they've told me just because I'm in there. But the craziest part is, Kate, is that I'll be filming like in this direction, and then people come up to me like, your presence of filming is making me uncomfortable. Like, I can't do anything about that. You know.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, that's probably why you got such a visceral reaction. I'm sure you can understand that, like, you know, our right to privacy is being eroded. Record
Yeah,
time.
but I would argue that right to privacy has been eroded ever since the Patriot Act. Like, there's cameras everywhere. The government, Edward Snowden already told everybody he's a wanted man living in Russia because he told everybody the government's looking at all your text messages, and you guys are worried about the guy in the post office.
Well, do you feel? Well, but I know, but you're actively, you know, helping that. You're, you know.
Well, I'm not. I don't work on behalf of the government.
I mean, you don't think the government has access to YouTube? You don't think you don't think they're working?
You don't think they have access to the security cameras in all these buildings? I'm
sure they do. I'm sure they do. I mean, you know, if there's a place where a security camera isn't these days, you might run into a jackass with a smartphone instead. Like, you know, I recently filmed in public myself. You know, I'm just saying, like, if somebody says that they're uncomfortable, I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to understand, right?
No, anybody, you can feel however you want. No one's telling you can't feel a certain way. I'm not saying, well, why do you feel uncomfortable? You know, you can feel however you want, but that doesn't mean that I have to change what I'm doing. I don't have to. I've blurred people's faces out before. You know, if you come up to me with respect and say, hey, listen, you know, I had a girl come up to me one time and she was like, hey, I have a crazy ex. You know, I don't want to be on your, and I blurred her face out. It's all about how you come up to somebody. But if you're going to come up to me and say, hey, what are you doing recording? Well, I'm not even recording you. And then you better not record me. You know, you're being an asshole. So now I'm not going to go above and beyond, and I don't have to blur your face out. People don't have
also be someone in a bad situation that didn't know how to approach it because they were triggered. So you have to think of it that way too.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, do you want it criminalized if you're being an asshole to cops?
I'm sorry?
Should it be criminalized? Yeah.
To be an asshole to cops? No. I mean, no. Nobody
So I mean,
being an asshole to anybody. You shouldn't be. If you're just being a jerk, there is no. It's not criminalized.
Okay.
There's no law
so
against.
it shouldn't be criminal. I mean, some people are pushing for it to be, right? They see
No, that's a slippery slope. That's
Right.
it's a slippery slope.
But my point is, do you think that people should be penalized for being assholes?
No.
Okay, so if somebody approaches you and expresses that they're not comfortable being filmed and they don't want to be put on YouTube or wherever you're going to put it, and they're an asshole about it, is it really worth it to penalize them by being like, "Fuck you, no, I'm not going to blur your face"? Like, is that?
I don't think it's penalizing them. I have no idea who they are, and no one knows who they are. It's not like I'm putting their home address on YouTube for people to go harass them. They're just part of the story. They're putting themselves into the story. If I saw somebody recording, I would just, even before I started auditing, I would just mind my business. What does it matter to me? There's cameras everywhere, and I get it. Those cameras don't go to YouTube, and I get that argument about it. But again, what does it matter if your face is if I catch your face while I'm panning through a public place and your face just happens to be on YouTube? Like, what is the damage that is done to you in that scenario? There's nothing. If you want to act like an asshole, you're not going to be arrested for it or penalized for it. But the people are going to see you because you were an asshole. That's it. And that's my right to post the video because you're an asshole. Not breaking the law either.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal. I agree with Adam. Usually I save these for the end, but you're adding more possible facial recognition to help the government in general, getting more people on tape. That's how I feel about it.
I think
facial recognition. Everybody, you have a license. Everybody has a driver's license, right?
Not everybody. I haven't interacted with numerous homeless people that do not have IDs.
There's a lot of government buildings that require you to have a license.
Not even homeless people in the city. A lot of people just don't get their license because they take the buses or trains or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, again, but on those trains and on those buses, there's cameras. There's cameras everywhere you go. You can't tell me there's cameras. I don't even know I couldn't even name a place where there's not a camera that's pointed at you that the government likely has access to. So I
can think of a few places. I can think of a few places right off the top of my head.
I'd
At
say
the same time, like how many videos from crime scenes have looked like 8-bit game footage?
Right? Every time a Sasquatch robs a bank because you can't tell fucking what the guy looks like.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you added all the frauditors and auditors, the well-meaning and the not so well-meaning together, all of their recorded efforts put onto YouTube is a drop in the bucket versus the surveillance state that's already been in place for decades. You're not even making a dent, not even close.
Let alone everybody has a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's people, you don't understand. Edward Snowden worked for the NSA and the CIA. He told you already that they're spying on you, and they want to put him in jail. So get mad at the government. I'm for it. Let's all rise up against the government and stop them from supporting us.
I would need to hear more of a framework for that plan before I can get behind
right?
That.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's why I started watching the auditing videos. I live in Canada.
You're like, why? If you are literally out to financially ruin me, why do you feel entitled to come and ask my guests questions through? Like, no, honestly, like, go on an island somewhere with Mark Stout. You guys can just fucking frivolously sue everybody. How about that? Oh, hi, skeptic. My dear, do you think that with the auditor slash, I hate that word. I'm just going to say auditor, it's haunting me, that word, auditor. Do you think the auditor community has contributed to society is a net negative or positive?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. Obviously, right. I would say, Team Skeptic, I would say that, like, I'm assuming you're saying, like, in as a whole, right? Like, yeah, I would assume that it's like as everybody, right? As a whole, whether it's been net positive or net negative, I couldn't tell you. I would honestly assume probably even as like a PR type of deal, like as a negative, because everywhere I go, people seem to have an issue with me just because I have a camera in my hand. So that's not a good look. But I think me personally, again, I can only, me personally, I think that I've done really good things for, society as far as people coming together, right? Not in this chat, obviously, YouTube tribalism, fine. But I'm saying I receive hundreds of emails on a weekly basis. I've talking to law enforcement officers throughout the entire country, and they appreciate what I do. They appreciate that I'm respectful towards people. They appreciate that I have an open dialogue with law enforcement. And, I've had policy changes. I've done a lot. So I think I would like to think that I've made some type of positive impact in my journey here on YouTube and activism, my fake journalism. Thanks, Team Skeptic, for the question.
See you in New York, Playboy. Kate, are we doing super chats? Because it's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. I gotta work in the morning. All sorts of people are like invading the chat right now, but like just something else. I imagine having the nerve. Like, Jesus Christ. All right. Thank you so much for the donation, Dutch Doyle.
I'm not going to stay for the
yeah,
super
you don't
chat,
need to say for that. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate
thanks for having me.
You're all right by me.
All right. And you're a stupid cunt bag bitch.
Thank you.
I don't know.
That's my love language, so we're fine with that.
All right. Peace.
Good night.
Yeah, people are like, you didn't shit all over him. Like, oh, he's a likable guy. At least I haven't seen his audits. I don't know if I like him or not if he had a camera in my face. But on a panel, he's fine. Colin Campbell says the only thing I love more than chili is torture cuffs. Okay.
Kinky.
Just make sure it's torture cuffs and not eczema.
Right. Unchained America points out that Altoona, Michigan doesn't exist. Yeah, much like every story on that website. Like, fucking pathetic display, really. Colin C says, hey, be nice. Oh, did you make the website, Colin C? It took me a whole 30 minutes to make that website. It is shit. It is not a good website. I even invented the city of Altoona, Michigan. All right, the fake Felipe Heaven claims, I met LA at a bathhouse in San Francisco. Oh, all right, that's a little homophobic. Vanessa, okay, so we did answer that question finally about the 12K. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, hopefully he's accountable to what he said he would do. The fake Felipe Heaven also loves when LA drinks pineapple juice before their dates.
Very thoughtful.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Busted, stumpy, bleeding teeth, begging for attention. Oh, okay. That must be a broken system, broken trust, who I'm just fatally disappointed in right now. Nasty thing they're going to ask it himself. So I hope your $5 was well spent. Sorry. Yeah, please tell Long Island Audits he's handsome and ask him if you have margarita with me. Maybe when we go to New York, we can just like, that'll be the mission, is to try to get you your margarita with that tall, dark, handsome man. Felipe Hamming, I believe this is the fake one, asked me why I couldn't cut it as a firefighter anymore. Don't care. Thank you for booting BSBT. Yeah, no, I'm very disappointed. He got his one shot with me as far as that goes. I'm not above reaching across the aisle and helping someone. I think he's in a bad position. But not if they're not going to fucking turn around and help themselves. And I know everybody will be like, oh, we told you so. Like, now I know for myself, whatever. Like, that man's situation clearly has not changed at all. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and lend credibility to and post Mark Stout up while he files these ridiculous, frivolous lawsuits. Not only against Long Island Audits either. So not only against the guy that you hate too, but, municipal organizations and employees that, are depending on tax dollars to fight these frivolous lawsuits. So that's a cool thing to do. Sakud says, I am not a fan of auditing, but I appreciate how respectful and open LA is. Glad he's a part of this panel tonight. Yeah, he was actually perfectly pleasant. I have nothing negative to say about our interaction. What's your opinion of Amagansett? I used to like the guy and think that he was decent. I had some interactions with him like way back in like the early Josh Abrams days, and I thought he was a decent enough guy, but he pulls some stunts that are questionable with the content, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
LIA in the airport video, you said you're gathering content for a story. Where's the story? It's the same rambling nonsense most fraudsters say. Yeah, I think that, with a lot of those videos, there is a certain amount of like just, disingenuous bullshit that you just have to come to expect. It's the genre. I'm not saying that that's okay, but I'm saying it's not unusual either.
Well, he did chime in saying that the story is how one is treated when they're exercising their rights. Like, I do get that too.
Yeah.
So.
Cautionary tale says, I think this is the most entertaining dumpster fire on YouTube. I mean, the same thing with, like, I guess, like, we walked around in Boston in the rain for 5 hours. Like, where's the story there, really? It's not, you just, like, live streaming is like a whole different thing. Yeah, there wasn't a story until you triggered people by filming them. For fuck's sake, find a better way to support yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we probably should have broached the subject of, the financial incentive, but that was a missed opportunity. We have those. The spirit of Jerry Hemming says, oh, good, somebody coming back for Felipe. I think LA should donate his win money to charity to prove he's not motivated by money. Yeah, I mean, I think he pledged it, right? We'll see how that goes. I have no problem checking back in with that. Ed says, I miss the good old emo Cyrax days of live streams here. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more of that at some point, too. There's always these oddities that pop up. Yeah, I don't call myself a journalist because I'm not. Right. I'm just not.
I noticed William Gloryhole in the chats earlier. I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah, we got something planned coming up.
Nice.
Some fun. That's all.
No big
does
deal.
anyone else have any thoughts? Paul, what's your take on all this nonsense?
I don't like tribalism. I think if you can't reach a level of intellectual honesty where you can admit that somebody being sued for a frivolous reason, regardless of how you feel about them, is a bad thing, then do some self-reflection.
And it's like, I have no problem pushing back. Like, and I mean, the guy was clearly pretty respectful of Long Island Audits. So kudos to him for that. I'm sure that if I had pushed harder on our first encounter, it may have been a little bit less amicable, but I try not.
Just because he was respectful here doesn't mean there may not be things that he has done recently that are worthy of criticism.
Right.
But
right.
At least the guy can engage in a conversation amicably, as opposed to just shutting down and accusing you of all sorts of things just because of the fact that you're asking him questions.
Right. I think that honestly, I was a little bit tougher on Long Island Audits than I was on Mark Stout, because I, first of all, was kind of emboldened by the temperature in the room, I guess, a little bit. I understood that that's what, people were, sort of expecting. So I'll own that right off the bat. But, I at no point till the end, really, with Stout did I even say that I called any bullshit on him. I mean, right off the bat, I will reiterate, I think the fact that Long Island Audits has a restraining order out on this man is fucking bullshit. I really do. I think that it's just not, and I understand why it's done. Just like I understand sort of why people have this, snap reaction to run and at least threaten lawsuits. That happens a lot. I've threatened lawsuits myself in the past, but I'm actually being defamed. But that's more justification than is really should be allowed here anyway. Like I understand that knee-jerk reaction. What I don't understand is like going as far as some of these people are. It's egregious. It really is.
It's all those damn lawyers out there.
Yeah. That's what I feel like Mark Stout is doing. Is he's LARPing.
Yeah.
LARPing as an attorney. And if it's terrible that Long Island Audits is out here LARPing as a journalist, as people were screaming in the chat, then I would say that it's arguably a little bit more risky and potentially harmful to be LARPing as someone who is authorized to practice law.
I was gonna say the whole being licensed to practice law thing would make it inherently potentially more detrimental to society and people individually to be LARPing as an attorney when you are not one. The
Well,
whole
fact
reason that
he tried to make like a pro se law firm is like the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's
Stout and stout.
right. It's self-aggrandizing for sure.
the whole reason that attorneys have to be licensed is because it is somebody else's legal and potential freedom, or legal rights and potential freedom, that is being put in jeopardy with criminal and civil lawsuits. So they want to make sure there's a standard of competence for the people who are going to be representing others. And I just sincerely hope that nobody takes Mark Stout up on any of his quote unquote legal advice.
So is that San Joaquin back in here? Or maybe the first guy wasn't the real dude.
I think it's been the real dude the whole time.
I wonder why it didn't come up. I mean, I didn't want to see, it turn into, someone jumping on Long Island just for fun and shit, but I was legit curious what his deal is.
I wasn't overly really motivated to do that tonight, but I'm never against it. I like a little blood sport. But.
Well, as someone who's watched I've watched a lot of these channels, man, and for quite a while. I haven't watched them super current, but I've digested a lot of it, right? So I would be curious to see what, I'm seeing Nate Skates is in here too, and San Joaquin, what their take is, because I know they were rolling with Chili early on, and then San Joaquin completely set it straight on his channel. This guy's out of his fucking mind, right?
Oh, you don't have to create a StreamYard account to do it.
No,
you shouldn't have to do that.
No, you shouldn't have to.
You should just enter your name.
They might want you to I think it makes you authenticate with your YouTube channel.
Yeah. But he saw through Chili, figured that out. So I would be curious to see what his take is on Long Island, because from what I've seen of Long Island, he isn't your typical camera in the face, lurking, leering kind of dude. He's pretty tame. He doesn't act weird. He doesn't, reach behind his back and fake like he's pulling a gun. We've seen that kind of.
Yeah. So he's not. He's
the complete opposite.
It up. So that's,
no.
Better yet, he doesn't walk into a police department with guns out in the open to test the Second Amendment, like those guys who got arrested.
I don't think Sean's sensational that way. I think he rubs people the wrong way because he does sneak disses on people, and he's very proud of what he's building, and he's psyched about it, and he's not going to hold back from flexing. I think that puts some people off, but I don't think he's your quintessential camera in the face frauditor kind of guy, though.
Brian, here's the deal, is going to drop a bombshell tomorrow regarding LIA. Okay, so I'm here for it, honestly. All this auditor drama, I like to see what makes people tick. I really am interested in this sort of thing. It just seems like a lot of ego. I'm trying to let go of a lot of that shit in the new year. But then again, I'm also getting really interested in doing more IRL streaming and less panels, which means less streaming overall, really, because I can't go out every weekend. But it just seems all kind of what kind of bombshell is it going to be? Sure, it's going to be great. Could it be that you're all kind of playing a character because this generates inordinate amount of income for you guys with very little actual work? I shouldn't say that.
Are you saying adjacent to IP2 kind of setup?
Listen,
semi-scripted reality.
No,
entertainment.
I'm not scripting shit, but I'm going to say I love interacting with people, which I guess is sort of I really that's what's sort of putting me at an impasse right now, right? Where I'm okay, so, you spend all these years being you shouldn't film people in public, rights to privacy, blah, blah, blah. But now, I find that I enjoy just going out and having interactions with people and bringing my online audience in on that. Like, that's just something that I genuinely enjoy, right? And I'm still trying to figure out sort of like the line to where, like, I don't want to make people uncomfortable out in public, but I do want to interact with and you know, capture some interesting people at the same time. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm still working it out. It's like a little bit of a moral quandary for me. I know that I enjoy it when I do it, though.
It's gray, but I mean, I think about it this way. Maybe it's overly simplistic, but like, whether you have a camera in your hand or not, if you're leering at someone, it's gonna
Right.
make them uncomfortable, right? That's just what we're used to. If someone's staring at you, you're gonna get weirded out whether they have a camera or not. So I think it all boils down to intent. Are you trying to trigger people for clicks and views, or are you filming in public and the people are in the background and you're focusing on content? You know, I think it's different.
Can be done, of course you can revenge. Yeah, well, maybe that's a good experiment with some of this IRL stuff. Like, you know, I don't know what happens if you're just out filming in public and you're friendly with people and you're not, you know, manufacturing any confrontations. Like,
Right.
You know. I mean, that's going to be one of my main goals when I like go out and film. It's like I would like to not have confrontations. I don't mind having them online, but you know, do I really want to cause a disturbance in public? No. I don't think so anyway. If it happens, like, run from it, but I don't think that I want to actually.
Not purposely.
I don't
Right.
actually enjoy causing chaos and mayhem. No.
I do, but I'm too
He's a
old
real
to, like,
fucking Loki, this one.
Right.
I do enjoy. Well, I like a little bit of chaos. It's just where I'm comfortable. I live in it.
People.
But like, you know, I don't want to like make other people uncomfortable. I'm just getting old. Is what it is. You know.
Well, you're always going to piss off somebody no matter what you do.
It's just who I am as a person, anyway.
And no matter what your intent is.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, not everyone's going to like your shit.
Yeah, that's true. Like if someone like I filmed that guy with the pigeon and he was kind of like, "Ooh, are you filming me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." Like, right? Like that was the end of that. Like he didn't get upset. I don't think he was harmed by it. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to bed.
Me too, honestly. It is late and I'm starting to like lose my train of thought.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm gonna be in court in the morning.
yeah, it's always fun. Yeah, so thanks for joining me and thanks guys for tuning in, and I look forward to the outrage in the chat. That's really what I'm here for today. So you know, protect your wrists from torture cuffs and or eczema.
Right. Yes.